My guess is that, okay, so we've got it recording and streaming. I don't know if it'll actually work, but my guess is that this is like a monumental achievement for us that we're streaming Elm Orlando live. And my guess is that this one won't be so good to watch, but that the next one will be better, and then the one after that will be better. And yeah, we'll eventually be able to stream them without like thinking so much about it. But yeah, for a little background into where we are in terms of the meetup, we did a 3-part series for creating with Elm. The first part was ideation, probably like we just sort of like gathered a bunch of ideas about like what we wanted to build. Was it like going to be a open source repo or a project that we built or some educational content? And we ended up deciding like on merging all the ideas basically. We wanted to create some sort of geolocation app that involved some game elements or interaction. And yeah, so far we've been working through a lot of geolocation sort of things. And the part 2 of the, did you need, okay, you're good? Cool. Part 2 of the meetup ended up being, so it was a 3-part meetup. First one ended up being ideation. The second one ended up being us practically trying to build this thing. We used Elm geolocation to figure out where we are on the map. I can kind of show you what that looks like. So we also used Elm Start App, I think it's called, or Create Elm App. And that was like a framework for building a Elm app that we hadn't really used before. We've always kind of used Elm Reactor for everything. And Create Elm app basically gave us a little bit of a backbone or like a foundation to build our app on. So that's where the app is running now locally. We've got, this is what we've got so far. Basically just says Elm geolocation. We make a fetch to gather the current location, which is currently in Orlando. And then the last meetup we did, we essentially struggled with JavaScript for an hour. We built out the Elm part in like 10 minutes, and then we struggled with the Google Maps API for like an hour after that, trying to put something together. So I think for this one, we want to figure out what we want to accomplish since this is the last one, and get an idea of like what is the final product or how far can we get, so maybe constrain a little bit, and then just set out on doing the live coding and try to build out whatever the next couple of features are. Some other exciting news in functional Orlando. There is a lot of cool stuff going on in terms of being a functional programmer here in Orlando. The Ruby meetup became the Ruby and Elixir meetup, so that's a whole new thing. And the guy that was here last time, Shane, he's going to be presenting on Elixir Gen servers, which is this really cool thing that changes the way you think about programming. So yeah, if you want to go to the Elixir/Ruby meetup, I'd encourage you to do that. As of tomorrow, a functional Orlando meetup is happening. Although it's not in Orlando, it's just remote, available to anyone, and it's starting out as a Haskell study group. So anyone that's looking to learn a little bit about Haskell, for the first meetup, we're just going to get together via Google Hangouts and just talk about what would your goals be, why would you want to learn Haskell, should you, maybe it's a terrible idea, we're going to try, no, so we're not going to scare everyone away. I think there was just a group of like 5 or 6 of us that were really interested, looking into books, and go ahead. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. Oh, so the best place to go, so you can go to meetup.com for information about Elm Orlando, or the other one that I mentioned, which is Ruby something or other. I think they rebranded it. See all your groups. Here we go. So yeah, as of I think yesterday, it was ORUG, or Orlando Ruby User Group, and now it's Ruby and Elixir. So yeah, this would be coming up on Thursday, August 10th, so right around the corner. I would highly encourage checking out Elixir if you like Elm. Although they're not quite similar, they're along the same track with the same ideas. And for the functional stuff, so I've always posted a lot in the Elm room, but there's also a functional room in the Orlando Dev Slack. And yeah, we were saying functional Orlando inaugural meeting, August 1st tomorrow, tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So yeah, it's kind of thrown together right now. There's just like a handful of us that were wanting to collect thoughts about what's the best way to learn and share, in a community sense. So yeah, it's super exciting for me. But yeah, if you're interested, yeah, just join us tomorrow. Okay. I think that's a good idea. I yeah. 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 That's interesting. I think there's like a Lambda conf that they have like a structured approach to becoming a functional master, and it's kind of BS, but it's also kind of instructive in terms of like saying like, oh, I understand a certain level of these things, and that's sort of one of my reasons for pursuing Haskell is that I feel like I want to know Elm and to be practical and to be productive using Elm, but a lot of times coming from like a Ruby or JavaScript background, I get to problem solving mode in my head where I'm like thinking a little differently. And yeah, some of my Elm functions look a little weird because I'm just like trying to pipe things back from one thing to another, and it just grows into this monstrous, untyped thing that probably could have been better. So yeah, I'm trying to just get like a better functional way of thinking, I guess, and it's been really fun. Yeah. The other announcement is that next month, right around this time, I will be having a human child. So I'm looking for other people to perhaps contribute, or my guess is that AJ will be here. And yeah, this is recorded, so I'll just have to show him that he's on the hook for this. Yeah, if he's here, I'm guessing he can probably help run the meetup. But it's basically just in case I happen to be in the hospital, you'll know why that I'm not here. But yeah, it's always been from the beginning, like one of the biggest things I wanted to do for Elm Orlando was consistent every single month. Because like I felt like if we took months off, then it would just dissolve, or like people would be asking like, "Is this month? Are we doing Elm Orlando this month?" And I just wanted it to be like, "Yes, always." So yeah, this is the first time where I wasn't necessarily going to be present for it. But yeah, I think any other announcements or anything we want to share? I sometimes feel like that's where this is all leading. Is we're gonna have a cool Florida conference for Elm, since it's not something that's. That sounds amazing. I would definitely attend, but do none of the work to organize. Go ahead. I think that's a cool idea to pitch Elm to other groups. Like I know when we did the CodePen Elm meetup, that was really helpful, and people were super interested. Like, if anything, I felt like I should have done more preparation because I felt like at that point I had been pitching Elm to this group for 6 months, and I was just like, okay, let's build something. Forget about. I'm tired of pitching it, and it was at a bad time because I felt like everyone was really excited, and I probably could have yeah, gotten a lot more enthusiasm behind it. Yeah, so it was CodePen slash LadyDev slash Elm. The cool thing for me has been seeing how it's spread to different groups and how we get people to try out Elm, like here live in front of everyone. I think, yeah, Brandon Ashley is one of the developers at Omicron, and I remember he came to one of the meetups and we had him. He was like, "Whoa, that was my first time I've typed in Elm code," because we were doing a live coding session. And then he went to a company and he got them to start using Elm, and now they're hiring Elm developers in Orlando. So yeah, it's been a whole awesome thing. And I remember a year ago going to ElmConf and not knowing that Justin was like sitting on the plane right next to me. And yeah, and then I got in touch with Functional Tampa or meetups, and they were like, "You got to reach out to this guy Justin. He knows Elm, and he's super awesome." And he's so yeah, it's all been. It's cool how it kind of everything feels like it connects. But yeah, in terms of focusing on this month's meetup, how do you guys want to approach what we have to build and what we want to, where do we want to go with it? Um, what do we look to accomplish? Is there something that we want to finish here, or is it that we just want to get some cool feature added? What would we feel would be a next step? Casey, I think you were there for the last one, right? So where do you feel like we left off? Is there something that would be a next step? Okay. I think I just remembered that I sent us off on like a rabbit hole for like a 20-minute interval, trying to refactor a lead expression. I forgot about that. I'm gonna edit the recording here to not mention that I did anything like that. Okay. Okay. I think one of the things we really set out to do was to use some form of real world map data in our app. So we could potentially try to access a data set and just throw it into a list and then, iterate through that. Or I think maybe a good starting point would just be to review what code we had previously, because I'm still a little fuzzy on where we left off. But yeah, so this is what it looks like, the end result. We've got a toggle location display button. But in terms of what that looks like, we have two primary source code files. One of them is app.elm, where we import geolocation. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, cool. HTML events and tasks, which, how would you describe tasks, Justin? A thing that may or may not be performed? Okay. So we have two types. We have a location with a latitude and longitude, which is a float. We have a model that includes a message. I think this was just like thrown together as a way of for us to get something on the page. So the message is just this up here. Then we have a display location, whether or not we want to display. So like this is the toggle. I think I was just throwing this together last time before the meetup so that we had something to show on the page. And then a list of locations. Okay, so this is like where the actual work was getting done, where we've got, when we load the page, it sort of starts with a list of locations, and then Shane added a feature where we could use the keys on the keyboard to actually move things around. One of the other cool things was that we could use this to hop around the globe to different locations, and this ended up being kind of cool actually. Am I just going back and forth? Hold on. Because you could go to all these different locations and then sort of zoom out and get a pretty big glimpse of what the, where Elm, Elm Orlando is going global at this point. How did I end up with a giant V? Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. I was just like, how did I go in a weird route? But yeah, it was actually super cool to get this on the page and working. It's just like, a month goes by and I'm like, oh man, this is like almost nothing. And then I forget how much fun it was to actually see it working. So yeah, we've got a list of locations. We could potentially pipe some data in there, or build something where we want to, visit different locations and then box them in to create some sort of like section of the map that we have claimed. I don't know. In terms of the update messages, yeah, there's the toggle location display. Fetch location is where the work is sort of happening. Geolocation.now. So if you needed um, information about this, we would probably just go to the Elm package and see the API. I think it's this one. So yeah, geolocation.changes, so we could subscribe to changes. Geolocation.now is the actual request of the user's device. So conceivably, if we weren't dealing with all sorts of weird geolocation issues like on phones, um, we'd be able to just track on a user's phone where they are and then get some idea of what we want to do with that data. Task it. So it's basically two messages. We've got fetch location to grab the current location, and then the task.attempt is to, like Justin just said, it could fail or it could succeed. So we're pattern matching here on the success case where we have an OK, and then updating the model with that new location added to the list. Yeah, const onto it. Am I bringing this all up to speed, or is this like kind of weird or too much? A little lost, okay. So I think what we're essentially doing, we've got a list of locations, so like an array, or I don't know what else you would call it, but we're just, every time we get a new location, we're just prepending the list with that new location. So our list of locations is consistently growing. We're always adding a new location to the front of it. And then we're rendering that with geolocation. So yeah, like every time so like if I switch to Tokyo, that's consing, it's like prepending the list with a new location, and we're just moving there with the update location message on success. Outside of that, we've got the view. This is just like view the message at the top, view the location toggle button, view the fetch location button. So yeah, you can see those up here. We're displaying view location data, which is just the model. So yeah, we could potentially display this in a better way. View message, and then yeah, view location data. So this is where things get interesting, right? Because we're going to the list.head, which is the first item in that list, toString text, and that's what's showing this up here. And then we're subscribing to changes. So anywhere that changes, we're actually, on the success case, updating the location. And then the port, which is sending it off to this JavaScript file, is saying, it's called where am I? And it's passing this list of locations as a command. Is that right? I'm just making all this up, so yeah, feel free to stop me. So then we import. So yeah, this is where we tried to start working with the Google Maps API. Subscribe to the ports that were coming from the Elm app. Console.log hi. So let's see. What do we see here? We've got hi. And then we've got latitude and longitude being displayed. That's interesting. Doing something with. I wonder where that's coming from. Here we go. So yeah, we were essentially, I think we were originally going to try to create shapes on the map with the locations that we were visiting, and then we just decided we couldn't get it to work because you needed to, I think, enclose the shape. And then we just decided, well, let's just go to a simple line. So we would add a line from one point to another. It's interesting that it doesn't go a straight line, right? I guess. Oh. That makes
So
sense.
the sphere doesn't map to a rectangular space.
Cool. So yeah, now that we have our bearings a little bit, what would you say is the next thing we want to do with our live coding session for the next hour or so?
Oh, it's a big decision. So many things we could do.
We've talked about getting some data from Orlando Open Data.
Okay.
Kind of interesting. I would be interested to see if there's, you could go to like a certain, along the map. Maybe we can grab some data for that area for like the crime in that area.
I remember,
Maybe
yeah.
compare it to like the business tax or the building permits, and see if there's a correlation to how much crime versus
Cool.
how many buildings are up, or something like that.
Yeah, I think when we talked about the Space Invaders idea, there was one point where we talked about like throwing the data of like crime on the map and then having something zap the crime or something. I don't know. That was before we had to practically implement anything.
Maybe you could go by how much tax you get,
Okay.
whether or not that's how much ammunition you have to fight the crime.
So would an MVP be like a heat map of some set of data per geoloc, or would it be some analysis output? So is it a visual representation of the data, or are we outputting some text after doing some analysis?
Maybe you could color like the area, like
So,
a certain color.
so like a heat map?
Yeah, and then if we have a total amount of the amount of tax revenue for that area, that's how many buildings you have,
Yeah.
and you can slowly color it to green.
That would be cool. So we would
Ooh.
need
Okay.
we would need the
Data set.
geoloc outlines of all the counties to separate them by county or whatever the
Which
data
would be
set
done with
is.
permits.
And then
The business tax receipts. But
Does anyone want to get us started in terms of trying to import this data and then render it on the page? View data. Casey? Okay, cool. All right, well, we're somewhere. We have some data. Who the hell knows what it is? But yeah, I think that's a cool idea. Even if we could get some real world data into the geolocation stuff, I think that would be pretty cool. And then, the ideas beyond that. So honestly, like all we would really need is latitude and longitude, right?
Yes, but we'll need poly shapes. Because by county, if we're going to make a box county that is colored, you have to fill it in. All right.
I also just wanted to say thanks for Casey's always the first one to volunteer. It's like a huge weight off my shoulders to just start working with a live code. Ah, there
Yay!
you go. Cool.
Yay, that's good. So we can use our API as is just by feeding those things in to find where all this stuff is. Okay. Export. Ooh, API. Socrata Open API provides. Do we want to make an API call, guys, or do we want to download and have it local?
Yeah. That's an interesting, yeah.
Okay.
We've definitely done it before with the Elixir stuff.
I've been doing some of that, so I got at least somewhat of a fresh idea behind the syntaxes.
Okay. Grab the API and go. You'll find it below.
So do we need a key?
App tokens. All requested a good app token that identifies. You have to sign up for a token. Fields, code snippets. Okay.
Did the jQuery example have
URL type data limit app token. So I'm not sure whether or not that means we need a specific key, but we do have to apply. What does this mean? Bijan, do you want to sign up? Through a...
Yeah, just go ahead and make a.
Alright.
You could use my referral site, I guess, if you want.
Okay.
Make up a nice, non-strong password. The word password comes to mind.
Do you want to be Do you want to be Bijan or Elm?
That's fine.
Okay.
So I'm trying to look up some of the previous demos we've done where we made a API request, just so that I can have it in my mind about how we would proceed. That's right. I think on the init we can just do a fetch, right?
No, he can't. He's a coding machine. All right, your password is password 1234.
See if that works.
Do you want to save this password? Oh, no, obviously not. It'll update in a second. Okay, so restrictions.
See my one password and one password. So part of me is wondering if we could just export as CSV.
We totally can.
Create a list that just contains the data that we're looking for, or do you guys want to do the API fetch?
I don't think it'll be too complicated.
Okay, yeah, let's go for it then.
Continue on?
Go for it.
Okay.
Because, yeah, that is good practice, too. Cool.
Did it. Rin, guys.
I guess part of this is like sometimes I feel like I should be doing more preparation on my part to give us a good starting point, but
I enjoy the entire process. So, like, a lot of tutorials are very much everything's handed to you on a silver platter. The process of finding the resources to do that, I enjoy. Now, give me a token. What?
So while we're doing this, I had a couple questions I wanted to ask since I'm new, kind of new. I think there's an app tokens link on the left. I saw that in the docs that mentioned WebSockets. So does that indicate that you can build server-side tokens too?
I think Justin would have it. So I've been using a backend and then communicating over WebSockets for Elm to like talk to the backend, but I think Justin might have more experience with trying to use Elm on the server side. I don't think it's intended for that.
I haven't done that. Yeah, it's not really intended for it. You could compile if you're not using any DOM browser stuff. You could
Oh, it's the
compile
first
it
tab
to
I think.
Node.js and then use
I was just,
yeah.
oh, is it? I see.
Somebody's made that for that, so you could, but it's not.
No, this is the app.
It's not constantly
Oh.
on those original servers.
Yeah, I don't know if we got it. We just didn't get it live last time, I think. So that's why it's localhost.
It seems like you could also share
Oop.
use Elm on the server side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that,
or the organization's website. It doesn't have to be the application.
did you try to? Oh,
I
we're on
was.
the app tokens page.
It's. We're on the application page. I'm just trying to decide. None of this is required, so I'm considering not.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Just gonna ignore it.
Yeah.
Boop.
Your application has been created. So where is it?
I could click save again. Hopefully it takes me somewhere else.
Well,
On the left, you have app tokens. So maybe you might have it there. I'm not.
there we go.
Yay!
Where's our token?
Show secret token.
So there's an app token and a secret token.
It's longer. If this one doesn't work, we'll know we need the secret one. Alright. Boop. Now. Okay. So y'all, how do I initialize an API connection?
I think on the Elm side, right?
Boop.
Figure out what to do the API call specs.
Hmm?
Oh, like the endpoint and the.
Yeah, just like where to stick the token, where to stick the intro
So
stuff.
I think we want to import the HTTP library, possibly. And I believe that to do that, we would have to, from the command line, install the Elm package for that.
Did you have a command line open
So
that I should have used?
there's iTerm is open,
Oh, okay. I prefer iTerm.
and yeah. So you could do, can you do PWG? How are we behind last? Oh, that might have been before. Yeah, it's fine. I think I pulled in a different tab. But yeah, so what you would want to do is Elm package install, and then HTTP.
You have to prefix it elm dash none slash, because they all the elm libraries, all the elm packages are prefixed with HTTP.
Oh yeah.
Like this? Or
Slash after elm name. So elm lang is the GitHub username, HTTP is the
okay.
browser.
And it's dash, right? Not underscore? Okay.
So actually,
It'll tell us if we're wrong. You can enter, it won't hurt.
there's another issue, is that we're using the create Elm app thing instead of just standard Elm. So I'm not sure how that works in terms of installing packages. Yeah, we could just try it though.
Yeah, I can just
So use packages.
That's really interesting that it asks me twice if I did mean to install the package that I typed out. So it's like, may I add that to the Elm package JSON for you? Do you approve of this plan?
I think it usually means that there's some other dependencies, but yeah, in this case, I'm not sure what it asked.
Okay, so then, let me go. All right, is it,
it's
I think
capital
we
T.
had it right.
okay, cool,
Cool.
all right.
So now I think you could make a GET request.
So do we have a, so you want to do it like in it or command none this?
I don't know where I want to do it. Where would be a good place to put this code?
You could create a function below init that was perform fetch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then use command, switch out command none with that function that does the fetch.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna. Woo! Ah.
But we don't want to delete that.
No, copy. And okay, message.
So I think what command none is, you just need to give it the name of the function that we're going to call, which is fetch. And it doesn't need to be command none fetch. It could just be whatever we call it.
CO.
Fetch data.
Just be specific in case we.
So the idea was not that we wanted to duplicate the init function.
Oh.
We wanted to create a new function called fetch permits. And then, yeah, there you go. Okay, I see what you're doing. So the Elm syntax is that the type comes first. So we got fetch permits, takes a string, and returns a model command message. But what we actually want is something else. So you could just comment out that line so we'll figure out what we want our function to do. Or do you guys like building the types first? Say like, what do we want out of this function?
Yeah, just start with the types. Makes more sense.
So we could perform a fetch, which would be an HTTP request type.
Would it it be that, or does it return JSON? The result of the HTTP request. So what?
The Orlando data website and see what their API, how to call it and what it returns. I feel like we had examples on there somewhere.
Boop.
So there's a GET request to that URL.
What do you mean?
Are you looking down here, or was it the thing up there?
No, I mean you can as Python code. I mean just
Oh.
just in general how to call. Okay, so anything.
It returns it as JSON. So if we call to that endpoint, it will give us a JSON file.
So do we know the URL to the endpoint? I suppose we'll need the token.
Yeah, I think we need the URL, the token, and that would be it. For the jQuery, I see where the token goes. Not sure. Oh, here's a Python requests file. URL hit. If URL status code check. Merp.
Anything on Python, you're trustworthy.
True facts, though. I know Python, so it's fine. This makes sense. Okay. Here we go. So that's just like, for some reason, they're splitting up their Panda examples. You'd have a separate file where you'd pass in the URL and still no token. Yeah, you're just trustworthy if you use Python. Okay. I think that the jQuery example is passing it in as a jQuery as a JSON object. I need information on how HTTP works in Elm.
You know the URL, like the build for the URL.
Yeah, we have the URL. We have what the token should be. I don't know what this is. But if you do, like, stop me and just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I'll go to that the package libraries documentation for the library we just pulled in, the HTTP library.
This one or
I think the first one.
The first one.
okay.
So yeah, the right is a HTTP.
Boop.
So yeah, these are all the functions you can use.
Okay. Create a properly encoded URL string.
Ooh, fetch straight
Straight to
JSON.
JSON.
Actually, this isn't
Ooh.
the library we're using. This is the one under headings. See up at the top, it says
Oh.
SCC, and we want to.
Yeah.
So just scroll to the top and
Boop.
just go to Elm packages, and then on the right hand side, I think HTTP is called out. There we go. That's the one we need.
Cool. So some good examples here.
Our initial function is going to return a command and message, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we could probably start with that type signature.
Would it be like this one? No, that's a send request.
So yeah, the same return value though, command message, like up in the bottom example.
Okay.
So yeah, we would have our fetch
Yeah.
something returns a command message.
Okay.
So yeah, we've already got part of it in there.
Okay. So it would take.
It won't take a string, so we won't need that part. We just want a return value, so no arrow either. And then that's a tuple, which we don't need the tuple either. We just want a command message. So yeah, this is essentially what we're looking for because we want to be able to pass this function instead of command.none when we initialize our application. We want to say, let's start, run this fetch as we load the page and fetch some data and do a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, the type signature and the function declaration
Mhm.
are going to be back to back. So fetch permit needs a matching function. So we also need fetch permits since it takes no arguments. So we're just going to say equals and then the body of the function, which is
Well, it turns out it's not a function at that point. It's just a value. It's just a piece of data. Our fetch permits is just a thing, and we're just passing in that thing, right?
yeah.
The
So
cool part about Elm, you can
Oh, I see what
describe
you're saying.
we're
Yeah.
just describing
we're dealing with Haskell
What is happening up here?
There are no parens or no curly braces
What?
ever needed anymore. Well, actually,
Well, I was looking at these.
see, that's nonsense.
Okay, well, what am I doing? What does this function
So we
declaration
want to
need?
return a command message just like we saw in the docs.
So
Right?
we could build our URL first.
So we want to make the HTTP request or the get or
Yeah.
do a thing, which is a command. So yeah, let's go back to the docs, right? What does it look like? Send looks like HTTP send, do a thing with a thing.
http.get
That has a different
decode
return type.
metadata. And decode will go through and say fields. It's mapping. Okay.
So yeah, essentially what we're going to do is make a request to an API, and it's going to give us back some JSON, which we need to decode into a format that we can use with Elm.
Do we have JSON decode imported?
Not yet. We don't need to do that yet. We want to make the request first, right?
Okay.
Or
Ooh.
does someone else want to, Robert, do you want to take over on this part maybe? Or Casey, is that all right?
I don't know what I'm doing, so
You
yeah.
guys started really off.
Ooh, that was really small.
How do I go back and forth
It's a
between?
4-finger slide back and forth.
Either that or
Slide
just
is
command
reverse.
tab.
Okay. Oh no, I think. Okay. All right. So the way I've built this kind of thing before is oops. Did we know what the URL was?
Is that in a copy paste?
Oh, it's on the page. So if we go back to the where we found what the key is, they give you the exact URL we need.
Right. I can't have a.
Try to do command tab.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I just don't know where I am now.
I think you're at the bottom.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, so if you, it should be the 4th tab from the right from your view.
Building permits issue.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then that URL right there. Just say you can't see the forest for the elms.
Tree puns. Always welcome to my next.
Do our permits even have location though? How are we gonna put this in?
What?
Oh, I'll be curious to see what the give an example. Just maybe I missed that. We looked at an example of what the permits API returns.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to build the type for that, right?
Well, I mean, does it actually include the geolocation data in there?
It does.
Okay,
You
okay.
can specify you can request specific columns from it and make them.
Okay, cool.
Well, scroll back. I think it gives you the entire object and then like you can parse it down to the columns you need.
Where am I on that?
You are right there. So
No, no. I mean, am I? Did you want me to go grab something like?
we're just trying to figure. I can't remember what the JSON data structure is that we're gonna get back.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Where did you find that?
That's a page. So just
Okay.
scroll up and hopefully it's somewhere there.
Like in here somewhere? Or?
Maybe a little bit higher.
Fields there, like permit number, permit. Here it is. Location.
So this is.
So it's one of those location. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Point.
the last one. Make sure that we're picking the latitude, longitude, and not like an address, because I saw addresses in there too.
So can we use the latitude and longitude that we initially get? Can we do that?
Because there's like a
Yeah.
within circle.
How does it come out on our?
laying?
We might be able to just drop that in the browser and see what the JSON response is.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea.
The watermarkers, they should all be in Orlando. Oh wait, it's not
Wait.
gonna work because you don't have a token.
No, it looks like it's showing you like an empty array.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's tiny. Okay. Huh.
Oh, an empty array.
Yeah, the upper left corner, underneath the left arrow, the back browser arrow. There's an empty array up there.
This will make a difference.
So you could try real without all the stuff after the question mark.
Yeah.
Maybe just .json.
So get rid of all of this?
You could try that just to see if there's any response.
Okay.
Or if we need it. There we go.
Pretty.
All right. So you just want to maybe grab the permit number at this point? Or is something here that
I think the location coordinates maybe?
location coordinates? All right.
Yeah. It should be a pair of like 20 dot something 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 latitude longitude, and then we'll need some sort of value along with that to like say
Yeah.
one was or okay, so there's another thing. It's like is the individual data giving us the number of permits per that location, or are we gonna have to like do some sort of count for all data?
It's a permit. We could just throw like we could shotgun all the permits as
Ooh,
tokens on the map or points on the
permits
map,
up.
right? I mean,
Yeah, for all permits in this,
how many?
probably lots.
I don't know. I think a lot. There's a ton.
All permits in the map.
So you want to grab the location and the permit number? Is that what you guys are saying?
Sure.
Okay.
Remember that we're streaming, so when you say such funny things, project it.
I'll make sure they can hear all my puns.
Cool. I'm recording, so this will live on.
So would you say this meetup is really branching out?
Oh.
I wouldn't say that. But I do think
Do you permit these kind of jokes?
it's either encouraged, but that doesn't fit into the tree puns between us. So I won't say it.
Oh, I'm glad that you're rooted in.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
Oh. Hey man, leave me alone.
I'm sure there's more.
Well, just don't
Now
start
we're getting somewhere.
throwing shade at me.
So how does this index.js fit in with the rest?
So
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
And that workflow that just passes straight to local data.
Like that?
You
Wait,
wouldn't even need a list if that's just stored on the permit.
yeah. Well, okay. Because the coordinates.
I think loc was just a record with long and lat.
Okay. So we already have it.
Somewhere on there, yeah, somewhere on the page. If you go loc, that's the typing.
Would it be a tuple? Oh no, you're right. It's a record.
Okay. So would we just leave it as loc or list loc at this point? Because it's coming in as an array.
Well, we can decode that to our loc, which is what I think we were doing.
Yeah. Okay. So leave it like this then, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Do we need to do for item in data, or is it already an index and that array index is all it needs to be? So we have a big chunk of data that's multiple permits, all permits. Do we need to iterate through that?
We'll describe
Um,
the JSON code that will
What rich crap is this? Just decode stuff?
Do we want to use map2 with the location type to decode those fields?
um, I have. That's a good question.
Or is it decode.list for that whole global list that we're dealing with? Because we're getting, if we make the request to that JSON endpoint, what does the JSON look like? Isn't it a giant list with
It's
objects?
um, yeah, it's that.
So yeah, there's the top square bracket means that everything we've got is a giant list. So you could do decode.list, I think.
I think Robert's on the right track to make a single decoder for the permit itself, whatever data we want to extract from the permit, and then it's easy to just put a list
Put
decoder in front of it.
around that, okay, okay. That sounds
So
good.
we can get a whole list of those. So like the decode permit, that way you can just concentrate on what you want out of that.
The way I've done this before is I'm trying to think. So we would at this point. I, the way I was thinking that I would bring in the decode pipeline at this point and then just find those three keys.
Those three things that you're looking to extract.
I think so. I can't remember the syntax for that.
You might not. So those are the three type coordinate. You probably don't need point, right? In there, because we know that's all we're interested in is the ones that have a that are the three fields that we have there. They're not supposed to be.
Probably don't need type, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you probably don't need type, and unless we're going to display permit number initially, I might just smash the loc out of all. So really, I mean, if that's all if we just want to put them on the map, I don't know what the goal is, but if the goal is to see something on the map, then
Okay.
we could really just steal the location.
Okay.
And
That
we
sounds
can
good.
do a permit record.
So we would just grab. Okay. That's easy enough then, I think.
Yeah, you don't even need to grab them. Like we can turn that whole JSON response into just a list of locations.
Hmm.
So when we decode the permit response, what we want is a list of loc.
Okay. So change the. I don't think I'm following.
Well, yeah, it just depends what you want to get out of that. What do you want to?
Let me.
It's just
Okay.
streamlining what we take from that response. But if we can
Let me show you what I was going to do, and then let's see. Oh, I can't remember the. Would that be? Yes. So. Oh yeah. I don't remember how to. So you're saying create another function that would decode? How would you inline it? Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
So map two, then a look,
Okay.
and then two fields, both of which are flipped. Actually, yeah, that's cool. The example is exactly what we need.
Yeah. Sorry. And is it like that? First argument, okay. And it's a float? Oh, right. Is it decode, capital decode that index?
I didn't know you could index the. I thought you had to grab them by field name. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we don't have field names. I think it's JSON decode as decode.
Yes, you're right. JSON.decode?
Yeah, JSON.decode.
Okay, cool. Did I bring anything else in that I can't remember?
I think that was
I think
basically
it's
what I
at
was needed.
location. Sorry, I think it's at the path is location and then coordinates. So in that list of where it's got location, we can double check in the JSON example we had. Sorry, so decode app is expecting a path in that list. Right now we've got location, and then I think it's nested further.
So is it location, comma, something else?
Yeah, you would put like the next
Oh.
map path, like the next object key.
Oh yeah, location coordinates.
Coordinates,
Okay, I got you. Oh boy. Like that? Let's see what breaks.
You might have to comment out the permit number.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Nice, it at least snapped into place.
It,
See, I
it
did
did
use
snap,
this thing
right?
called Elm format that like tries to do a static analysis of the code we're writing, and like we have a good sense that it's at least on the right track if it snaps into place and formats it. But yeah, like we have a duplicate definition of the init method or function. My God, I said method. um, but yeah, so like we can remove one of those. So yeah, like one of the cool things about Elm format is that it's giving us some inline hints about what we need to do.
So you probably want to
So
wrap that up.
would
This
that be kind of like what
So
checker?
Yeah. So
we don't have
the
handle
cool thing
permits.
is like we can even build these functions without types, and it'll infer the types and say like, oh, you should add a type, and it should look like this. A lot of really cool stuff. So yeah, right now it's telling us that yeah, we don't have a handle permit message.
Does
Oh
work
wait,
for
let me go. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, it works for Vim, Atom, like the VS Code. There's plugins for a lot of them.
Is there some error messages somewhere on that?
So decode permits response is singular for permits.
Ah,
So that should fix that one. And then the handle permit is, yeah, you had the right idea for creating them. I don't know what the type is for that.
I'm
Is it a result HTTP error?
result error and string maybe.
Yeah, we might need to look that up.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm coming back from.
So this is when we send the request.
Yeah, how we're handling it.
When we load
HTTP.
pending.
Okay, so it's a result HTTP error,
Cool.
and then our.
whatever the type was that we gave it a decode of.
Yeah, the LOC, or
We probably want to make that a list of location and not have to infer.
yeah. So now we get to handle it.
So are we error free right now?
No, probably not because we don't have
Oh,
a.
that's right, yeah.
Um, have like an error?
You could do model command none, just simple.
Okay.
I think you want to wrap the error in a case, right? Or is that
Can I? Oh yeah.
Pattern matching for both cases if you wanted to kind of do like the update location example above.
yeah, so we could have two handle permits. The first would be on an OK.
It's obscured by the find window, but if you scroll up a little bit,
Yeah, no, I know.
yeah.
We can't do it like this
Oh,
though.
no, you could, yeah, you could have it.
I mean, uh,
Okay, yeah, no worries. Cool.
would that be cool? Um,
You could even start with the same thing, model app.
do we have a list of? Do we have anything to put this in yet?
Not yet.
We have a list of locations.
But aren't we using that for?
Yeah, that's like drawing your path. So we
Yeah.
probably want a
Oh, I
separate
see.
one that we can just put points for.
So permit locations sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Permits.
Permits. Yeah, that sounds good. Um,
This is where I can tell that Robert is just like officially a functional programmer using the comms operator. Just left all of his other things in the past. So that's weird. Error, does that still need a argument or? Oh, underscore. Try error space underscore.
so
So
just
like
like a,
anything that comes back.
just anything. Yeah. Okay.
Permit.
Hmm. Are we destructuring maybe? No.
It doesn't like the way you shadowed your response there. Maybe we should pick a different name for the OK because you're using responses, two different things.
Ah, thank you.
Oh.
Okay.
RBS.
How about
Just call permits.
yeah, permits or permit because it would be one coming at a time. Or
No, we're gonna get a list of
no,
them.
we're gonna get a list. Okay.
In fact, you could replace it. You don't have to come.
Yeah, you're right.
In fact,
I don't have
we'll
to.
just end it anyway.
Cool. Is that something that's pretty different to Visual Studio with
The advisory underline thing.
No, Elm format actually works that way with Atom or other editors too. So yeah, it can keep
I
that
think a
permanent.
decoder is just for a single loc. We just need to put sort of list in front of it.
So if you hover over these red lines, it usually gives you a little something.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
Is there something like that for
Sorry,
Ruby? See?
I'm all over the place.
There's something called Rubocop,
Oh yeah,
which is
yeah, yeah. I've
a
used it
similar
before.
tool. I don't know if it does the same thing as this. There's also
No.
another JavaScript called Prettier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been kind of cool to be part of Elm where a lot of the ideas that seem to
Any
be
ideas there?
getting taken.
Yeah.
It's like this is like the source to me, like where a lot of the great ideas
So
are
in the
coming from
definition,
and getting
I
adopted
think in
in
the
other.
declaration we would want
So
to put
yeah,
list loc in
I've seen
parentheses.
people say like, oh, we love this JavaScript
Like right
static
here?
analysis, and I'm like, yeah, we've had that for a
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Like it's kind of cool to see like
And
something
then in the
that's
definition,
just coming from Elm,
just decode a list of the.
which is
Okay,
coming
so
from
I just go to
Atom,
list
which is
from the
coming from
beginning.
Lisp, which is from like 1950. So
code right here. This.
like
Oh, sorry.
where you've got
Like a
set
scenario for
fields and
each
stuff,
each
one of
object.
Okay.
But
changes
we've got a
like
list of
that,
those
but
things. So after
you have to
before that,
command
before that 50 code
first
list,
for it to
and
run,
then
and then
we've
you
got
get
a
the
list of
results.
those
I
things.
bet there's probably like an editor plugin for it.
So before decoding, right, the decode
Well,
list.
since I wrote this in C++.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting close to
And are we gonna wrap the whole thing?
So I always think the reason companies would prefer something like React only is
Oh.
because just what their developers are built for. Maybe maturity of tools. There are probably a lot. Like yeah, there's a lot of reasons, but one of them would be that Elm is essentially being developed by a single person. So this is very much a direction that he has in mind for it.
Okay.
Whereas React is collectively being, well, React is also tied to a big company, which is Facebook, that to be beholden to
No,
them.
no, I don't want to do that.
But yeah, the maturity I think would be one of the main things. Also the familiarity. A lot of people might not be as willing to
So since we're not
learn
displaying, maybe you could sort of
or like
log
make the investment to say like,
the
okay,
ending
Elm is
path with
something we really want to
debug.log,
commit to.
just so we can see it.
I was gonna put it on the
Say,
screen with to string model, or do you think that would
be
be
able to say like,
too
okay,
much?
well, this is the
It's up to you.
JavaScript
You can do
framework
that.
that
Let's try.
current hotness, I guess,
Um,
but
let's see here.
That'll
learn
probably be long.
JavaScript and then switch to something
It will
next
be.
maintained
It'll be kind of cool.
JS or whatever.
If model dot
So yeah,
display
this
location.
in some ways is about like
Just debug log.
the calculated risk in that I
I'm
think
I'm
a
gonna
lot
go
of
for
great
it.
ideas are coming from Elm and sort of like at the forefront of being part of that.
So is Elm, is it newer or older than ClojureScript? Because they kind of to do similar things, right?
Probably a similar age, I think. But yeah, you're right in that it's like a compiled to JavaScript. I think
So
one thing that Elm has going for it in relation to ClojureScript would be that the strong types for Elm are like you can create some essential guarantees about your code working, um, whereas for a lot of other typed languages that don't have such strict typing models, you're going to potentially run into
so
situations where you have
yeah.
unexpected results that maybe like with Elm, if there's like a saying that if it compiles and it runs, like so like if you can get it to
Why don't we do your
compile,
debug log
you might be
idea?
able to run
Where
it
do
and
you?
find
Maybe
your
just
files
rerun display.
much
Like
quicker.
if you click that display location tile
Probably
at
harder
the top
upfront
of
to
the
write
window.
drivers,
Oh, okay. Let me try. Okay.
but they're easier to maintain over the long term.
It's that toggle location display you mentioned.
Yeah. Let me try.
Compared to React or Elm compared to JavaScript. Probably the tools. Because there's a lot of things in Elm that I think you probably like have an idea of something you wanted to do, and you
And you
use
see
it
like,
on
okay, that
Rails,
doesn't
and
work.
there'd be a gem that does exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
With Elm, you might end up in a situation where it would be really easy to implement something in a different language, given the tools that are the mature tools and things that are available, and then you end up debugging it because it's just like,
Oh.
anyway, it's great to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Cool. Good to see you soon. So, how far did we get? Did we end up rendering making the request?
I'm not sure why we're not.
Take it easy, man.
Hey, take it easy. Nice.
All right.
And, I'm not sure. Let me put it in there and see
View
what
location
happens.
unit model. So that's that display location thing. Okay.
I'm just trying something. Just
I tried to build something with Elm for Hack Day, and I was doing the same thing. I was just like, just display the stuff anywhere, so let's see what's happening.
Yeah. Debug log is great for that because you can put it anywhere because it just returns. It's like a sneaky side effect of a function that
well,
all
let's
it does is
go with that.
return what you give it.
Cool.
So you can use it in line in any path or any development pipelines.
So your Elm programming that easy?
So
Maybe
where
I switch to
Where should I put the debug.log?
Maybe in the request. So yeah, HTTP send pipe that to debug.log. So debug dot.
And then that should be it.
Not do anything.
Let's see.
Okay, it doesn't complain.
So yeah, it doesn't. I keep thinking it's a touch screen. So where would the debug.log be?
It would be in console. So on the right side, you're in the network tab, and then console. Huh. Well, that's neat. Try it. Is it called something else than debug.log? Try going back in the source code and like type debug dot and then see what the
Okay, cool. Let me try it.
try going back one more dot L. No. Oh, so it is log. Huh. Or is it debug log or watch? Can we pipe into it like this?
Have we passed in the key?
Well, I would
Okay.
I would log like stuff you get back. So fetch permits is just the command that
Oh, I
that
see.
you're going to pass off to the runtime. But then in your update function, when you handle the
Oh, okay.
response.
So do we put it like, that seem cool?
Yeah, you can put. So I would put that like right where there's debug permits.
What was that?
So like debug log for permits. Put that right before your use of permits in equals permits.
Oh, okay. Like right here?
On the other side of the equation.
Here? Like that?
So if somebody built like an RxJS package for Elm, is that something that would be useful for it, or is it built in such a way that it doesn't really need something like that? Yeah, so Elm is a language, but there's something called the Elm architecture, which is like the framework essentially. So yeah, I think like it's kind of
I don't
similar
know,
to
actually. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, to be honest.
model
Oh,
how
something that says log is
applications
where
are
you
structured.
start with the word. I don't see anything that starts with the word
I'm not
start.
sure because it's been a while since I looked at
Right.
it.
No, I don't.
But yeah, like I think there's just over different releases of Elm, they realized that people were structuring their apps in the same way, and they eventually like canonized that as like the
Even in the same.
canonical way to actually structure your
Is that?
application.
To be fair, in
Model
like
the update
just like where it
view.
says Elm
So
geolocation
yeah,
at the
that's
top,
generally
Whoops.
structured in almost all
change
of
that in
WebAssembly.
the
So generally
source
when you
file
make
that
a
you
new
have.
Elm
Yeah, that's a good idea.
application,
Okay.
We can do the
with
same.
Yeah.
I don't know, 40 lines worth of boilerplate that give your app some structure. You don't have to, but it's just like a generalized structure for the way that people usually put together
Oh,
something.
easy.
So yeah, you can see ours is set up with a view down here, and the
Oh, whatever.
update is
I'll
where
just
all the
change
backend
this.
is happening, and then the model is like where data all handled. Do you have experience with JavaScript or?
I've been trying to learn React.
That's cool.
So
It's
it's
gotta
kind
be
of like
So that's not it.
Between React
All right.
so wherever
I'm just going to get rid of that one then.
Yeah.
And
The cool thing is I think of all the frameworks, React is the most
is this where I'm at here?
it's got like some background whereas like another is just
Oh,
its own
whoops.
thing.
I think so because we just installed the package. So
React can kind of run
no.
there's like streams like the
Everything
concept
is
of
already
streams
running. Oh, okay.
is
All
what
right.
you're thinking about Elm too.
Am I I don't want to mess anything up. Yeah.
Try to just reboot whatever it is that we've got running.
So I think it's just in this other tab. I think it was the existing one that was running. Ah, so this was hidden. This was our, we ran into this last time. That the, this is actually like being, it's like on top of, the map was on top of this. So we had to resize the window a little bit. So we actually have a weird list of locations that already has. So yeah, it's like built into Elm. So we're actually fetching. On clip. Okay, that is. Is it possible that we saved? I don't think so. So let's. It's possible though. Huh? Are we in the wrong place?
You could see what process ID is listening on that port and then show it.
Location display. Ah, there it goes. I have no idea. It's possible, yeah, you might be right, that I had a, yeah, so it's possible that I have two different versions of this project locally. That explains why we saw 6 commits behind master when I had just pulled before we started. Okay. So we had it running somewhere. Now where were we looking to, let's see, debug.log, location updated, debug.log time, the permit? So that would only be on a successful. No, that's not how that works. So I'm wondering, like, that would only be on the success case, though, right? So what happens in this case where we have? Is it possible that we would only be seeing this message when we do the successful fetch? So how does this work again? Debug.log? Here? Okay. Oh. Completely froze there for a second. Okay. So I think this should at least display the word permits somewhere if that ever. Okay. That is a lot of stuff. Cool. So we actually have the response. We're just not successfully fetching. So we're in this error case, probably. So
Can you go back to the top of things to see what it actually says every time? I mean, that's a
wait,
lot for pages.
what is it? I think it just froze. Shit. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Error, bad payload. I think I just cursed on the recording.
Explicit.
Expecting an object with a field name location at
Is that already indexed?
underscore.
So it's probably
There it is.
automatically.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you want to take over?
Oh, okay.
Do it.
So yeah, we gotta.
Expected goat. No, expected got. Expecting an object with a field name location at 33, but instead got a object. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it got something that didn't have a location on it.
Is it because it's a list?
I think it's just the 833rd object in the list wasn't structured
Conform
the way
to
we
the.
expected.
Oh.
So it got 332 of them.
How do we.
333 of them. Okay. How do we say sort of a maybe condition like that?
Okay.
Like, you can look in JSON.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Elm Lang.
So I think like one of those objects in the data we're getting back doesn't have the locations.
So the data might be poorly structured. So are we using nullable or maybe inconsistent structure? Bye, Casey. Thanks for
Post it
staying.
so I can watch the rest of it and see the thrilling conclusion.
Okay, cool. So one of, yeah, so this is like the stuff that I actually haven't used because thankfully the JSON I've worked with has subscribed to a particular structure. Would we be able to use one of? Maybe. So maybe just before.
Because we could wrap them all in maybes and then essentially get rid of the maybes by, like you can take a list of, basically like take your list of maybes and then filter the nothings out and return
Okay.
a list of unwrapped
Okay.
lists. So I'm trying to see the type of maybe again.
Decoder. So it takes in a decoder and then returns a decoder that takes a maybe? Notice the last example, we must have a field. So are we saying that the data is maybe a float or that we just maybe have that field?
Really that it's a list of maybe those things as they are. Yeah, so if you decode a list, maybe you try decode a maybe, or you still need a list, and then between decode list and decode half, decode a maybe.
Okay. So that would. I think I might have made a mistake here. Hang on, before I. No? I thought I might have made a grievous error. Get us back to here. Okay, so we're back to working code. Okay, so that'll help get it all in one spot. And then, so we're looking to decode a list of decode.maybe, right? So the paren would go.
So list is going to take one thing, and maybe is going to take one thing, if that helps. So put a paren on the other
Okay, I
side.
see. So like this, and now it's returning. Okay. So instead of a list of locations, we need a list of maybe locations
But we can take that list and then decode map it.
inside this function.
So outside that, so after decode list, at the bottom of that definition, make a
Pipe.
forward apply after it, yeah. Or just actually the apply, not the compose, which is the pipe and then the arrow. There you go.
Okay.
Decode map, and then parens will construct our mapping function, which will take a list of maybes, and there's a function in list called filter map,
Okay.
and it takes a function that returns a maybe as well as a list that you're mapping over.
Oh, so the list is what we're already passing in, right?
Yeah, and since we don't actually need to, if our list already has maybes, we can just give it the identity function, and we don't even do anything to this list. We don't even do anything to each item.
Like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a nice way to, if you have a list of maybes, or if you just have a list and you're going to do something that results in a maybe. That's what I can see. You can pass out a string. Huh.
So now we've got a bunch of latitudes and longitudes.
Yeah, that's a lot. This is where sand.
Oh, so this is actually giving us the data we're looking for. Okay. The permits. Okay, cool. Very cool. So, how are we building these? So they look like this, roughly. So that's a object.
It's in the right sort of shape that Google or Java would want. I know we exposed something that is going to draw the paths. Remember, like we gave it a list of points and it draws them,
Mm-hmm.
the lines between them. I don't know if that's the only. Let's see.
I think we're sending. Oh, but that was because we were. Do we need to?
We need to look at our JavaScript is what I'm.
Okay. So we're subscribing to the locations that we were sending over, but do we need to send the permits to the locations? But that would be on the Elm side, though, right?
Well, that's where we would send it, but we have to see when.
Aren't we?
So we're subscribing to them. Let's see.
So the where am I port looks like this. It's just a list of locations. We're subscribing to changes. So can we just say update location?
Was there another? Was that our only?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. So sorry, where am I is a weird naming concept. Because it sounds like it's asking a question, but it's actually where I am rather than it's like plot these points, plot these paths. Weird.
So
We could make another port, another
okay.
JavaScript function that draws the list.
be a list of permit? Or still
A
list?
list of loc. There you go. Excellent functionality. Thank you, Vishal.
So now we're looking to for a different subscription on this side. Perhaps without all this stuff. Plot points.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, do we have, can I see the body of that function more, Because I think it's plotting the points and the path. So we could have one that's plot, one function to plot points and one function to plot path, and then the location we'd send our locations to both, but only send the permits to the plot points.
so the main structure is that we're trying to separate our location from the permit locations. So we're I think these were coming from the Google Maps API, right? The set path, set map.
So this just adds one point at a time. Every time we call where am I, if you look at the JavaScript code, it takes our list of locations and then gets the first one. That's what var loc does.
Okay. The index.
Adds a point.
So this sets the center of the map.
Yeah, so really that function is kind of like update points, and we want like a new function that we're just going to call one time. That's plot points. So we can kind of, so I think on the right track, we can just copy that thing that takes the marker.
This thing.
New Google Maps marker heading, yeah.
Okay. Oh, but we still don't have location. Do we still want to do it like this? Indexed. Grab the first one.
Well, we could just iterate through blocks. So we could just do that for each.
And this would be. It's been a while since I wrote JavaScript. And this would be a LOC. I don't know what the conventions. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying with them. So we don't even want map. We just want position. Okay. No trailing commas in JavaScript, right? It's a proposed. This is shocking to me. Okay. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me shocked, but this is what it looks like. I use that joke all the time. Okay, so we are looping through the locations and doing a thing. Okay, where am I? Oh, I must have not named where. Here we go. Where I am. Console cleared. No. So we're not drawing.
Well, not yet. I think in the case where we receive those
you want to take over on this part?
Sure. I mean, I figured you're right around the corner. Got this far.
Go for it.
Whoa.
The cool thing about all this is that we essentially have arrived at some of the original requirements that we set out to, which is like Elm geolocation with real world map data. And we could potentially. So yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on like the next meetup? Would you want to continue with something like this? One of the ideas I had was like a show and tell, or show and film.
That might be pretty cool.
I think that would be a nice idea for the next one. I know that Justin's been working on an asteroids game. I have a Mario clone that I've been working
That's
on.
cool. That might be fun. Just give anyone who wants to some time to go up there.
Because even if it's not something you've built, there is some fun Elm projects out there that are like, even if someone just wanted to say like, oh, I was looking at this, I thought it was really cool. Everyone gets 10 minutes to share something.
I might be doing an intro to Elm talk for the front end Orlando.
Cool.
Carol asked me if I would
Nice.
think about doing it because they got a lot of beginners that could do it, and they kind of need to.
It's a big audience too. I think you could get like a decent number of people on it.
Yeah.
I mean, not like hundreds, but I've seen 50, 60 people on it before.
So maybe in September. I've tried to like introduce it to a number of like beginner programmers and stuff, but I think they just get a little nervous. They're still learning JavaScript too for the most part, so it's tough.
And the types, yeah, I do try to caution a little bit about some of the difficulty, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's any more difficult than anything else, but at the same time, I don't want to discourage people by like throwing them in the deep end without any help.
I think a lot of the feedback I've gotten where it's been like, well, I'm just trying to learn. I'm just learning JavaScript now, so it's to get a whole new syntax. I think has been the problem. But
The syntax really is tough to get past initially,
yeah,
even if it's like not really. Yeah, at this point, I see it the same as I see anything else, but I can remember initially just
yeah,
like seeing
yeah.
types, and that was already like, I was like, is this two different function declarations?
Do you look at pure script at all?
I keep, I did do. There's like Egghead has 2 introductory lessons. It's just Hello World. But yeah, so it's installed, and I have heard that it's very similar to Haskell with type classes, but
Yeah, I still don't understand. I know that there's issues people have with Elm that it doesn't have type classes, but I don't really understand what that means or what the difference is.
same
Like,
here. So yeah, like I think people that are coming from Haskell to Elm are missing some of the things that they
yeah,
had in Haskell, whereas those of us that came straight to Elm, we don't necessarily know what we're missing.
right.
I have heard some valid arguments about the Elm update functions and models just becoming these monolithic
Yeah.
giant structures.
Oh,
So it looks like you've got.
we got our long and laugh flipped.
Oh.
We're plotting those somewhere in the Pacific Ocean or something.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
Let's
It's
see.
always my favorite.
So here's where we're building.
Those are the permits.
I wonder if we could
Wow,
get
there's
someone to make some money off this.
yeah. I live down in the
down here. Man, that's great.
There's one right in the middle of the airport.
Yes, I know that. I see that.
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
So what ended up being the thing? It had to have
Oh,
a header?
just that. Well, I tried that just out of curiosity. Um, but no, it was just that the long and lat were flipped.
So we were
So
actually rendering, we just didn't see it.
yeah, like I said.
That's so cool.
So as far as like using Elm as like a way to getting to kind of functional programming principles, like just working through it with the docs and following stuff along that, is that a good way to do it?
One of the things I usually recommend, there's the Elm intro tutorial.
But there's also a couple books. Like I consider these resources are like the ones I always recommend. It's on Elm Orlando's website. There's just an introduction to Elm. There's beginning Elm. Elm for beginners is like there's a free intro course. So yeah, these are all like the ideal resources that I would say to start with. But yeah, even just like working with lists, a concept of maybes like that doesn't really exist in previous languages that I've used. Little things like that that just picking up on the concepts, super cool. Like I think also that just not having had a background in those things, it takes a little while to pick up. But Elm is so good about using plain English to describe them as opposed to like saying ONAD for everything. So yeah, that's been really cool for me too. Just seeing the plain approach. It's like a beginner friendly to me at least. So
I'll have to check out the site and visit those links because I was just kind of using the main Elm site because like I just pulled up the docs and then like the thing where you could just try it on. So
yeah,
I was
same here.
doing that instead.
The LE editor or the Try Elm site?
Try Elm.
Okay. Yeah, those were, I'm pretty sure all of us that have heard of Elm got our start in that Try Elm editor. I think the original one was like Yogi Bear image that he created and just started moving it around. But the creator of Elm, I think there was like a Yogi Bear PNG that just started moving around or something. That was his initial demo.
Yeah, I've gone back and looked a lot at David's like RX CSS examples, and there's so many similarities. Basically, with what you're doing with Elm, you bring a lot